This is the basic introduction to how to use your website. We're just going to do an overview of all the basic components of your WordPress installation. And so it will be brief, and we'll give you a look at how everything fits together, all the basic functionality. To be able to log in, you need to go to heartwaychurch.com/wpadmin. You've done this before. If this is Danny watching and listening right now, it feels kind of big. Yeah, there we go. Type in your username. I'm going to go with my username. That's Kenny. That's my name. Log in. This is the dashboard. You get into the dashboard, you have all this stuff over here. A whole lot of busyness over in this white area, and pretty much none of it matters. It's just space filler. I'm not really sure why they include it over there, but I guess you have to put something there. So it's there. You don't really ever need to pay attention to it. You could do things from here, but this is just not really the way that you would normally do it. As we go along the left side here, then we see that we have a home button to get back to the beginning of the dashboard area here. We have updates. We don't need to worry about those right now. Right here we have posts, and we're not really using posts in this website right now. If we were to add a blog component to it, then we would use posts for that. There's some other ways we could use them, I suppose, on this site too, but nothing that's set up right now. Under media, you have the ability to look at media or to add new media to your library. You could do it this way. Typically you'd be adding media as you're in the middle of doing something else, as you're creating a page or as you're having a widget load up, something of that nature. So it's a place you could go. Most of the time it's not going to be necessary. We have our forms here. We use Gravity Forms, and it's a very good system. It's a premium plugin, and it will serve you well. You can do very simple forms like you have on your website right now, but you can do very complex and very cool things with it as well. And maybe someday you'll explore and figure those things out, or maybe you will have us help you out in some way to do something that is above and beyond typical church forms. And we'll go through that in more detail in a different video. Pages are pages. They're the main thing that you have on your website. When you go to look at things other than the home page, then they will be controlled by some page within here. Comments are not something we have set up on your website right now. If you had a blog situation, we might have comments set up. We probably wouldn't use the built-in comment system even if we did. Foo Gallery is what we are using for your staff page, and it is just a simple image gallery system. And it's easy to use. We'll have a video to cover that as well. Staff is something that I'm deleting, and I just haven't gotten around to deleting it yet. So you can ignore that. It won't be there by the time you watch this video. Genesis is the framework that we use. So you have WordPress, and it's the really broad, big piece of software, and then within that, then we have a basic set of code that controls the website, and it is not your website specifically, but a general framework for how we build our websites. And it's reliable, trustworthy, and it's not something that we have built, it's something that we use, and we found that it works very well. You won't need to mess with it most of the time. There are some things in there you could do. Most of the things in there are not things that you're going to be dealing with on a regular basis. Under appearance, then it would seem that this would only be appearance type issues, but it's not. We have themes over here. You don't need to mess with themes. We've built your theme. It's good to go. There shouldn't be a reason that you'd ever be changing that on your own. Customize. I don't think there's any reason why you would ever need to click on that button. No, there's nothing underneath there that would be of interest to you. You can always mess around. You can always look at it. If you ever just explore, then I'm sure we can, and there is some problem that comes as a result of clicking on things, then we can always get you out of it. We'll always be able to fix it. So don't be scared, but I don't see any reason you would need it. Now, widgets, on the other hand, are very important. They are what control what shows up on your home page, and in your case, the images that show up on other pages than at the top of the pages, then those are controlled through the widgets as well. And there could be a sidebar if you ever have a blog situation. Menus are the menus, and so then you'll need to use that. Header wouldn't be something you'd need to mess with. Editor is something that you should really never go into, and it would make all of our lives a lot easier if you don't. It's dealing with the code directly through there, and that's not something that you probably are wanting to get into right now. In plugins, then we have things that add extra functionality to the website. These are from outside sources, not things that we have built ourselves. And you could add new plugins and that would be fine. And you can do that at some point, and there's not a danger in it, but of course we don't know for sure which ones will and will not work well with your installation of WordPress. And so if you do, give it a try. If it works, that's great, and if it doesn't, then it might not be the right one, or we might need to adjust something else on your website to make it possible for it to be used. Under users, we have users, and so we can set up people that can log into the website. You can give them different privileges. We'll have another video on that later. Under tools, I don't think there's anything that you would need under tools here. Settings, we have settings for several different parts of our website. Most of this is not in the area of things that you need to be dealing with directly, I don't think. No, it doesn't look like it. Soliloquy is our slide system, and so on the home page they have the slider there. You can use it in other places too, including at the top of the pages where we have images right now. You can make that be a slideshow instead. So you might want to have several images for those pages, and that would be fine. Or you can insert it directly within a page. Photo gallery is another one of those things that we're not using anymore, and so we need to uninstall. And we'll be gone by the time you take a look at this. It's the basics of your WordPress website. At any time while you're here, then you can go visit the site. If you want to add a new page, then you can click here. Any of these things, new form, you can do any of those things from right there, or you can go to them within these parts over on the left as well. That covers the basics of how your website functions. This is how your website should look. Hopefully it looks something like this when you're looking at it. These are the basics of WordPress.